I got our logo up first. Start the video. Alright. We are live.
Hello!
What's up, everybody? I'm giving the peace with my fingers, but you can't see me.
We're working on that. We will get that fixed in the near future. By near future, I mean in the next couple of months.
That's right. Okay.
But for right now, we're going to do something different. So Jonathan and I can see each other, but you can't see us.
Yeah, guys. So, if you were in our last stream last week, you heard that I'm probably going to be able to get a new computer in a couple months. And I've just felt really bad that we've had really bad quality videos, and can't really justify that. So we got some pictures, and by that I got 2 pictures for you to look at. But we're still here.
And we're live.
That's right.
So hit us up with questions and comments, that sort of thing.
So you should at least hear both of us, and it should be fun.
And so, I can see Jonathan now.
What?
Because before I couldn't see you at times.
That's right.
So
news and notables.
Well, of course, it's the Wake Forest Comic-Con. And of course, I'm showing you the flyer, but you can't see it. But Jonathan can, and I'm being silly with him. So it's the Wake Forest Comic-Con, August 10th, 2019. That's this year. That's what, 2 months, 3 months, 3 months. And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. We had such a good time and a good haul last year. I think we're going to focus on having a good time and maybe have a reasonable haul this year. But yeah, so that's big news. We were talking about this before we got on, so you guys are probably looking at Booster and Beetle laid out on the couch chilling.
And I got the logo on right now.
Okay. Sorry. Don't mean to spoil things.
No, I'm kidding. I'll switch it in a minute.
Anyway, so we're bothered by the whole Heroes in Crisis storyline, but I heard it's going to be drug out. They're delaying releasing the last issue to the end of this month instead of when they were supposed to.
Yeah. It's probably because they're going to rewrite it.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to do some sort of rewrite too, yeah. Plus, it falls on like a 5th week or something, which it should then take the #1 spot, even if there's a lot of hate and people don't buy as many copies.
Yeah.
So let's see. New Spider-Man trailer last week.
I finally saw it.
Yeah. I think I saw it. It's hard for me to remember. I've slept since then, and I just started working a new job. So, hey, that's news, right?
Yeah. I went and saw Avengers again, and they had the trailer at the end this time.
Yeah. Does it hold up?
Pretty cool. What? The movie?
Avengers.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah.
Well, it's been the crap out of every other movie that's ever been made as far as making money.
Yeah.
It's been out, 2 weeks now, and it's blown past everything except for Avatar.
Yeah.
And it's going to blow past that if it hasn't already.
Praise God.
Yeah. I'm glad, because this movie actually...
I don't understand why Avatar was such a big hit.
Yeah, me either.
It was not a good movie. Like, nobody talks about Avatar. Nobody.
There are good actors and actresses.
I mean, it was okay. I describe it as Pocahontas on steroids, because that's really what it is. It's the exact story of Pocahontas, but with sci-fi.
Yeah.
Instead of spiritualism, which it still had spiritualism in it. But
well, of course.
I don't know. It was okay. I enjoyed watching it the one time I saw it, and I'll watch it if it's the only thing on, but it's whatever.
I've never seen that movie, and it's never appealed to me. So I was dumbfounded when I saw that it made so much money. I'm like, okay, somebody convinced me to watch it. I mean, you convinced me to watch Justice League with you at one point, right? And I still haven't seen that, but I will watch it. Huh?
I'm switching over to the Booster and Beetle. Right. See if that works.
This is copyright DC Comics. This is Jonathan's actual issue that he owns. We are not violating copyright by using this. We're just letting you know that we're big fans of Booster and Beetle.
Yeah. Well, when I showed him that it was, or told him it was from Heroes in Crisis, he's like, "Really?" And then I'm like, "But the art was amazing."
That's true. The art on that book has been stellar.
I feel like, as much as I haven't cared for the story, I don't mean to interrupt. As much as I haven't cared for the story, I feel like there's been some really great character moments. And this is one of them. This picture right here really captures Beetle and Booster just kind of hanging out on a couch. Booster's eating, Beetle's drinking, they're watching TV. It's so them.
Yeah, no. So Tom King understands certain aspects of these characters better than some writers have in the past. Because I think of those issues you bought me with Batman and Superman going on a double date with Lois and Catwoman, and the whole deal with Batman and Superman with baseball, that junk is phenomenal. The way that they're, no, I could totally hit it. No, you can't. And Batman's like, no. That whole back and forth is perfect.
And then they just can't help but go
do it.
The field. Yeah.
Right. So I like that. But then he does things like this with Wally, and you're like, have you ever read a Wally West comic book? I mean, at any point in your life? So.
Yeah, but he gets some parts of Wally well.
That's true.
Every time he's in the machine and when he's with his family, but then he completely ruins the character. And it's just we don't really care about this character. Everybody cares about this character except for DC.
Or Dan Didio.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who's to blame up there, but he might be since he's the chief editor.
I'm going to blame him. But, yeah, so that's about all the news that I've got. Have you got anything?
Yeah, let's talk about the Spider-Man trailer. That was good. I actually saw it on the big screen, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They introduced the multiverse, and it looks like this is going to be a good version of Mysterio, which I hate. I'm like, I want an evil Mysterio,
I think there's still room for that, though.
I don't know.
Because I want to say in his original appearance, or at one of his appearances, he shows up and he's pretending to be a good guy, but he's really a bad guy. Yeah. And I'm hoping that's what happens here. I'm hoping he snows everybody, and then at the end has this big reveal or whatever. Yeah. Because here's the thing. We've been down the Sandman route. We've never had a Hydro Man or Molten Man in the movie, but they're sort of blending those characters with this Elementals characters. And I honestly, it would not surprise me greatly if Mysterio set up this, those guys aren't real, and they're just part of his illusions, if that makes sense. But yet he builds the anticipation for them being major threats,
right?
And then he swoops in and he saves the day, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm better than Spider-Man, and I'm better than Iron Man," because there's obviously that vacuum that's created with Iron Man being gone, and I could see someone like Mysterio trying to swoop in and steal the glory of that position. And this would be a great way to do that.
Right.
And I don't like, I don't know that it's necessary for him to truly be from another Earth, but maybe he is, and so he's moved over, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I want so badly for him to be a bad guy. I don't want him to be a good guy, and I want the fishbowl and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Well, I think they might be going to another multiverse. So I think this will be the first movie where we get multi-dimensional travel.
I don't know. We'll see. I think I have seen this trailer now that I think about it, because I remember Spider-Man using the Waldos, the little whatever they're called. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The arms that come out of the back of the suit.
The Iron Spider legs?
Parts. Yeah.
If y'all could see Lewis trying to describe that with his hands.
Anyway, and I thought that was awesome. I'm still digging the suit. I know it's very similar to the one in Avengers Infinity War.
Well, I think it's the same one, and he struggles with it because it's the one that Iron Man gave him.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
For who?
Anybody who hasn't seen Avengers Endgame yet.
No, Infinity War.
Or Infinity War.
How would they not have seen it?
There were implications about the Endgame in that statement. Implications.
I thought we were past that.
Whatever.
All right.
You were. I was trying to be someone. You're the one who has said spoiler on things that have been like 10 years old comics.
Man, I've spoilered 30-year-old stuff and said spoiler.
Now I spoil a 5-week-old, or what? Not even that. Like a 3-week.
No, it's like 2 weeks old. Yeah,
like a 3-week-old movie, and you're getting on me for it.
This is true. All right, whatever. I'm digging the combination old school Spider-Man meets the Iron Spider costume from the comics. They've kind of blended the two, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
And I think just the way that it seems to be working together, I think it's a nice encapsulation of Spider-Man's unique costumes.
Yeah.
So
now, if they go to the multiverse, this is the perfect time for Miles Morales. If Miles shows up,
but they've established where they could have him in this reality without having to go to the multiverse. Because his uncle was one of the bad guys in the first movie.
I think that's just an Easter egg. I don't think that's...
Alright.
I mean, unless they do plan on killing Peter Parker.
Alright, well, I just read an article that says Tom Holland, the guy who plays Peter, he's down to be Spider-Man for a long time. So, considering he's crazy young, I think,
right.
We could get quite a few movies out of the guy.
We got, 10 years out of Robert Downey Jr., so...
Yeah.
We get twice that with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Although I doubt it'll last that long. Spider-Man has a tendency to fizzle out after a couple movies.
Reboot. We got to go back to high school. Nobody wants to see him actually grow up, except everybody's asked for that, plus Miles Morales. So have your...
I think they should introduce Miles and have him be like the Tony Stark of...
Peter Parker to Peter's Tony Stark, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I've read stories that might happen.
I saw a meme. I don't remember if it was today or yesterday that was showing that Tony Stark could be the next Jarvis.
Yes, you actually suggested that at one point as a possible workaround, didn't you?
Yeah, but I didn't think of it quite as far as him like being the next Jarvis.
Okay.
You know what would be really funny, and I don't think they'd ever do this. It'd be really funny is if we had like a repeat of Age of Ultron, and they recreated Vision, but it was Tony Stark's false identity that was put into Vision. That would be hilarious. It would be
Yeah,
so
that'd be a
crazy.
little creepy, wouldn't it?
I don't think they would do it, but it would be hilarious just to see like Vision with Tony Stark's
Or,
mind.
or if they recreate Vision and there's some overlap
I don't know.
where Vision has these moments where he acts just like Tony, I could see that being pretty amazing.
I have a feeling that they've put Vision to death. I'm like, why? He barely was around and he didn't do anything important.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Like, why did they get rid of this character?
I mean, I think his big claim to fame, fighting wise, would be the few minutes in Infinity War and Civil War, I guess.
Yeah, he had some good moments in Civil War. Okay, a few moments in
Age of Ultron, right?
Age of
Because he murked
Ultron, but
Ultron.
he didn't do much of anything in Infinity or in Civil War. He was in the last battle, but that was it.
Right. Yeah, I can't remember anything special standing out as far as his fights and stuff.
Yeah, I was very disappointed with his character.
I mean, because I'm not gonna lie,
just underused.
In Age of Ultron, they set him up as like this techno savior character, and yeah. So
I get that they were. I get that they were trying to not use too much because he's a OP.
Sure.
But I just there goes my microphone.
Mic drop moment.
Mic drop. If you're listening, I just smacked the microphone pretty bad.
Vision is OP. There's the mic drop right there.
That's right. Yeah, I think that he was so OP in Age of Ultron that they tried to downplay it a little bit in Civil War, and then they just ended up missing the chance to use the character in a cool way.
Yeah.
Because right after that was Infinity War, and really the only thing you could do with the character is kill him. So it's just
right, because they needed the stone. So
it's like we didn't really even get an awesome fight with him.
I would have liked to have seen him hold his own against Thanos.
Yeah.
Before Thanos comes to get the gem.
Well, I thought for sure they would bring him back, even without the Infinity Stone.
Right.
But no.
Well, maybe they still will.
I doubt it. I think the way she talked, Black Widow and Vision are gone. And by she, I mean Scarlet Witch.
Right.
Which is kind of sad.
All right, so who are we going to hook her up with now that her boyfriend's dead?
I don't know. I think she's fine.
All by herself?
Although it wouldn't be beyond her to try to bring him back herself. She's done crazy.
Ooh, do you think she's going to be the next big villain?
That would be interesting. That she's trying to do something and they're trying to stop her. It'd be like the next Civil War.
Yeah.
I doubt it. But,
that sounds like a great plot point.
I doubt they'll use her for anything more interesting than that. So, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I think she was, other than Black Widow, I think she was the best female hero in the movie.
She is the best female hero. Yeah. And they found her voice, and I mean that no pun intended, because she dropped the accent in Infinity War, but her character seemed to come alive in a way that she hadn't been for the other movies.
That when she shows up, I know we're getting into spoilers, so if you're listening, there's some major spoilers for Endgame coming up.
Right.
Sorry.
We're not trying, but it has to happen.
Hopefully you have seen it by now, and if you haven't, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? I'm sorry. Go see it right now.
You should have seen it already.
There's probably a theater still open. I don't know. Go see it tomorrow.
There were 2
back.
weeks ago, but...
Anyways, when she gets when she comes out of the thing and fights Thanos at the end, and it's like, this is you took everything from me. And I was like, let's go. That's like one of the best moments in the movie,
It totally is.
other than Cap picking up Thor's hammer. So,
you're like right there. You're like, get him, get him, get him. It's awesome.
And she does. And the only way he gets out is by destroying everything. It's great.
Right. Because he recognizes, she might be a little more powerful than I can handle it. Plus, she's a woman scorned. So what are you going to do, right? Yeah. Hell hath no fury, right?
That's right. Well, man, you can tell on her face she's not happy. No. Oh, me. So,
anyway, what you reading this week? Because we're still in news and notables.
I've had a busy week and I haven't actually read much of anything. I did sell some comic books, which was cool.
Hey, how'd that work out for you?
Worked out pretty well. Got about $100, and they gave me a gift certificate. So,
in addition to the $100, or no, it was $100 gift certificate?
$100. So okay. I got a $100 store credit. And he's like, I can give you cash. And I'm like, just give me store credit, man. I'm gonna
buy comics.
I'm gonna buy comics, so might as well buy them here, you know.
Yeah.
So that worked out pretty well.
And that's your time tunnel?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
that was the 2 boxes we loaded up the other week?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. You think you're going to buy something big with it? Or, you know?
I think it's just going to pay for the next 3 weeks of comics. I've already used some of it for this last week.
Oh, excellent.
So, save me some money.
Well, guess what I found?
What'd you find?
I was going around looking for shirts for my new job because it requires a uniform. So I went to the Goodwill because I went to the store and didn't see any. So I was like, let me check there. And I found this.
Silver Age comics.
Classics. So it's it was a box set and had this little gem in it. I'll scroll that over for you to see. That's this is a reprint of Martian Manhunter's first appearance.
Really?
Yep. But wait, there's more. First appearance of Batman's new look costume, which has the yellow oval. I got a deal from the bottom with some of these because, all right, Sugar and Spike have no idea what this is. I have no idea what this is.
That is a weird looking comic book.
Isn't it? So it stays on the bottom because I probably won't ever read it. I'll save that one for last. You'll appreciate that one. And that one. Oh, there's a good one. Okay, so we'll go with this one first.
You realize that our listeners can't even see anything.
I know. I'm showing this to you.
I can't even see. Okay. House of Secrets.
First appearance of Swamp Thing.
Okay. Have you seen the commercial for that or the teaser for that?
The TV show?
Yeah.
No, I have not. Is it any good?
I mean, it's just a teaser of him like popping out of the water or something like that.
Oh no, I haven't.
Looks pretty cool.
First appearance of the Legion.
Okay.
Of superheroes. Oh, dude, check that out. There was a certificate of authenticity that came with this junk. I didn't even know that was in there. Excellent. I'm excited. See, what our listeners may not be aware of is that the actual first, like these, what these are reprints of are some of my Grail comics. So having the stories as they originally appeared ticks boxes off in my mind. Yeah. So reprint first appearance of this guy.
Cool. That's Hal Jordan, by the way.
Yep, that's right. Let's see. Don't know how to do this. First appearance of Barry Allen.
Cool.
Let's see. First appearance of Supergirl.
hey, if you're listening, thanks for watching, first of all. But also, feel free to comment. We can read your comments.
Yeah.
And if you missed it earlier, we're just going to this format for the next few weeks because, Lord willing, I've got a new computer coming, and I just couldn't bear to give you really terrible streaming quality with video, and so I figured I'd give you a little pretty picture to look at instead of us kind of jumbled around and barely moving and twitching. So I apologize for the inconvenience, but we can still read your comments and talk. Anyways, first appearance of Justice League.
Yes.
That's a cool cover. I've always liked that one.
So I read this one. This one I've actually read. And then the first appearance of Batman's new costume, I read that.
Yeah.
There's no big deal about it. He just literally shows up in it, and I'm like, oh, okay. I thought there was going to be something more to it, but what's really neat about this Justice League cartoon is they like write out Superman and Batman very early on. So like Superman's off in space doing something, and Batman's stuck in Gotham chasing down two of his arch criminals or something, and so they can't help out. And you're like, oh, okay. So I just kind of thought that was funny. All right, and then I say
it shows that they're in the same universe and that they're part of the Justice League.
Right. So, and I save what may be the best for last. First appearance of their team up. This is the first time they team up.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow, people.
Yes.
I'm just still getting used to the audio here.
Sorry. I'm showing Jonathan so that he can marvel at it too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so he's got a little box, and it's got a bunch of reprint issues.
There's 10 issues. This is the complete set, by the way. If I sold this on eBay, I could get $30 for it or so. I paid $3 for it.
Sweet.
I literally was turning the corner, and I just happened to look over, and it was like laying there by itself, and I'm like, huh, DC Comics, what is this? And so I picked it up, and I'm like, no way! This is amazing. I was like, I looked around to make sure nobody else saw me with it. Because it's, in my mind, this is something we had just talked about on our Grails video.
Yeah.
Because I said if I could get them like this, and I was trying to describe these to you, I might be happy with that. And
yeah,
of course, I didn't find a price on the box at first because it was written in black marker in one of the black spots, and you're like, you literally have to hold it just right so the light shines on it. Because they have prices for their hardback and paperback books, but this is something different than that. And so when I saw it was $3, I was like, okay, I got to hurry up and check out. Because they only had one shirt my size, so I tried it on. It didn't fit, so I put it back, and I had this and was like, I got to hurry up before my wife comes in.
Do they not provide you with shirts where you work?
No.
And you can wear just anything?
It has to be a green shirt, green polo.
Shirt.
Any color green, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Interesting.
Yes.
Any other news and notables?
No, that's it for me as far as I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I've got. You got anything else?
Well, I got a topic we can talk about.
All right.
And it's about the CW TV shows and kind of why I stopped watching them.
You stopped watching them, huh?
I haven't watched them in a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the latest seasons. Honestly, like, I stopped watching Supergirl last season. I didn't even finish it. I felt like Supergirl was just getting boring.
Dude, Lex Luthor's on there now. Spoiler alert.
Oh, joy.
And from what I've read, it's been good.
It is or isn't?
It is
Okay. Yeah, I don't
because
know.
Lex Luthor's on there.
There was. I just felt like with Supergirl, they got too interested in all the politics and not enough on like interesting storylines. And
Yeah.
like at the beginning of the
Well,
season,
they're still doing politics. They did something big with the president recently. Sorry.
you can tell me what is it? Do you know?
Oh no, I don't want to spoil it for people at home, but
Okay.
I'm just saying, like the president has been in the forefront on that show. Like Lex was planning an attack by the Red Daughter. I haven't watched the show, so honestly I think it's a clone of Supergirl, kind of like Galatea from
Yeah.
Justice League Unlimited. But anyway, so yeah, Lex is partnered up with some foreign nation, and um,
I
I know
liked.
there's like anti-alien groups, sort of like the anti-immigration groups or something going on. So I know
Yeah.
that's still um, there as well.
Yeah. I just got too much for me, and
Yeah.
it kind of overshadowed the villain, and I was like, I'm done with this. I felt like uh, Supergirl's sister just kind of got really dumb and had no point in the whole series. Like, she's not really doing anything important. Like, why are we still focusing half the show on her? But I just got bored with that one. Flash, I really enjoyed the Flash. That was the last one that I quit. Um, and it just kind of got so drawn out. I think the last season I watched was The Thinker. Um,
Well, that was a while ago, from what I understand.
it was, well, I stopped last season, I think. And I think they've had one full season. It should be ending here soon since I stopped all of them. I think this might have been the Arrow's last season.
No. There's one. It's an abbreviated one that runs into Crisis, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, I dropped Arrow. I just got bored with that one too. Um, it was always the same. It wasn't a great Oliver Queen.
Right.
And I've said it many times on the channel. That's not Oliver Queen.
But the guy could totally do that, though.
I think so because he's a
The
funny guy.
actor, right? Because he played Casey Jones in one of the Turtles movies.
Right.
And he seemed to have some of that snarky flair there.
Yeah. Instead, he's moody and grumpy and boring. And he makes the same mistake over and over and over and over and over again. And there's no character development. I'm like, dude, get over yourself. It's sad when the same problems that you're having as a person are the same problems you're having 5 seasons later after you supposedly grew as a character past these things. I'm just
Right.
like, stop. Move on. There was one really great episode. It's the best episode of the series. And forget what it was, but it was an episode about gun control. And it's
Green Arrow?
yes. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Because they had two sides fighting about gun control, and they had to come to an agreement. It was excellent. It was excellent.
No.
And I was
Maybe
like,
we should make Congress sit down and watch that. What do you think?
I was like, why can't, like, you have on one extreme, you have Supergirl that just gets super political and to the detriment of the story. And then you have this beautiful episode of Arrow where they're throwing in the politics, which is integral to the character of Green Arrow. It has nothing to do with Supergirl because Supergirl doesn't do anything political, but Green Arrow does, and it's perfect for him.
Right.
I mean, I thought the the idea that they got with like the anti-alien stuff, it was okay. It kind of made sense when they brought some of that in, but you know, it really, because I mean, Supergirl's kind of on that fringe, anyways. Um, but
Right.
but with Green Arrow, it's perfect. It fits perfectly, and they haven't really done anything political with the character, um, which is so weird. It's so weird because he's such a political
Political character.
person.
Right.
um, and but then after that episode, because he was fun, he was lighthearted a little bit. Like it's the closest we've ever had to the Green Arrow on the Arrow show. That's the closest to Oliver Queen we ever got. And then they got rid of it. It became dark and brooding and annoying again, and I couldn't do it anymore after a few seasons. I just like, so if you're watching Oliver Queen, I would describe him as sarcastic, lighthearted, and goofy. And if you're going to describe the character that's on Arrow, it's dark, brooding, and a loner.
Right. And Ollie can do that.
And
But that's not all he does.
Well, I think unlike Batman, who pushes everybody away, Oliver brings people to his side. Now, sometimes he has to get smacked in the head to remember that he needs to bring people aside, but generally speaking, he pulls people to him in a general sense. And
he's a gravitational force.
And I think that's one of the great things about him and Black Canary is because when he tries to do something alone, she just smacks him around and says, "You need me, stop it." And Roy Harper just kind of forces himself on him too. Whereas Batman, there's no arguing with Batman. He's the dark, brooding one. I feel like if Arrow didn't have somebody with him, he wouldn't be able to be sarcastic with anybody.
Right, he had nobody to talk to.
So I don't like the dark, brooding Arrow character, and I never have because it's not Oliver Queen. It's Batman with an arrow. So I enjoyed the first few seasons.
And that's why the show's called Arrow.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first few seasons, and but it just got long drawn out, and they got away from the idea of this show, and then they tried to revert it back, and it got worse. I don't know. I just got bored with it, and I could only take so much of Oliver Queen making the same dumb mistake over and over again throughout the series, betraying his best friends over and over again, which isn't.
Yeah, how many times can you do that story before everybody's like, "All right, man, seriously, you've screwed me over several times now. I'm just gonna have to say peace, and I'm going over here. I'm moving to Coast City. I hear that guy takes care of his friends, and if he doesn't, then he's going to do everything he can to bring them back.
That's right.
Even at the expense of his other friends. But, that's a good friend.
The Flash was the last one that I dropped off of. I said Supergirl first, but I actually dropped off of Legends first. I really liked the last season that I saw, which I think was season 3, maybe. They did the Legion of Superheroes, or no, they did
Legion of Doom,
Justice Society, and that one was good. I don't know about anybody else. I really hate White Canary. That is the worst character in the whole series. They should have left her dead in Arrow and never brought her back. It was stupid. Why would you bring this character? Or if they had to bring her back, she should have just stayed a regular person. Like, I'm done with that life. But no. Now she's on this weird team that is a character that I don't think anybody cares about. And I certainly don't care about her. And the fun characters on there, like Wally, I thought was the best part of them. The best part of the show was Rip Hunter, and they got rid of him. Then the other best part of the show was Captain Cold, and they got rid of him. Heatwave was good, but he got worse after Cold left. I love that they had Adam in there, but he just kind of got put on the back burner the whole time, especially after all the other characters left. And Hawkman and Hawkgirl were awesome, and then they left, and it's just like all your good characters are getting rid of, and all we're left with is White Canary. Um,
Who isn't even a real character, right?
Right. Now I did dig the lady who came on and had like the wind powers. She was pretty cool. Um, but I felt like they really never did much with the character. There was one really great episode that was kind of like um, Groundhog Day episode where she's constantly waking up and being killed or something like that.
That's an excellent movie, by the way.
And that was a really great episode. And that season with her in it was pretty good. I think that's season 3. It was pretty good. But yeah, they kept pushing characters. Wally West, when he comes on there, is pretty awesome because I mean he's one of the best characters, anyways.
That's true.
Even though it was Wally West too, but he was
Whatever.
basically Wally West. Um, but yeah, I got tired of that one.
Sure.
I just feel like the show's kind of outlasted its use. All of them have kind of outlasted their charm. Yeah, even the Flash, which I thought was the best of all of them, it just got old, especially after 3 seasons of a Speed Force using villain, which they switched up with the Thinker. And they had some really great episodes with that season because they even brought the Elongated Man in.
Gotta love Ralph.
I loved Ralph, and there were some really great episodes in there. But I just the next season it just never really attracted me. There were some cool ideas in there, like they had a female Bart Allen. I thought she was pretty cool, and by that I mean she's Barry and Iris's daughter, and she basically played the role of Bart Allen, going back to save Barry, and so female Bart Allen, and she was pretty cool. I enjoyed her, and I didn't feel like they were going anywhere with the series. They had the Cicada as the villain, and
yeah, she's still the villain this season too. Except there's somebody else behind the scenes pulling strings.
Cicada's a she. I didn't know that.
Spoiler alert.
That's all right. I haven't watched it, so it's whatever. But yeah,
I haven't watched it either. I just read about it.
Of course you did. So I don't know. I guess when I started getting disinterested was around the time that the Titans was coming out, and I just didn't like the direction they were taking with that.
No,
it's not the cheerful, fun, family-oriented Titans that I love. They're kind of like a big family.
Right. When the big claim to fame is, Dick Grayson saying F Batman, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Jason would say it, Damian might say it, but Dick?
Yeah.
No. He'd be angry at Batman, absolutely, but I don't think he'd ever say F Batman.
Yeah. And Starfire is just kind of, I don't even know where to begin with that.
Bad cosplay?
Oh my goodness. Well, see, I remember, and you probably see some of our old videos talking about it. When I heard all the dumb stuff about, oh, why would you hire a black actress for her? I'm like, dude, she's gonna be orange. Who cares? And then they didn't make her orange. I'm like, what? Like, I don't care what color the character is as long as she's orange, because she's orange. You know?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
It's like making Beast Boy not green.
Yeah, that was stupid. That's stupid. And we have Cyborg coming on the what's it called?
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. But and Beast Boy is on the Titans. I'm like, can we switch those? Like,
Right, that would make sense.
I mean, I like Beast Boy on the Titans, but he makes more sense than Cyborg does on Doom Patrol. And why are we bringing Cyborg onto the small screen? Like, what happened to him in the movies? Like, they canceled his movie, I think.
Well, why don't we put him on as many teams as we possibly can and see if something sticks?
Yeah.
We'll put him on the Justice League. He's a Titans character. We'll put him on Doom Patrol. He's a Titans character. You can't go on the Titans show. That's our one rule.
Has Cyborg,
no Cyborg.
Has Cyborg ever been on the Doom Patrol?
No! Beast Boy was on the Doom Patrol.
What is he doing on the Doom Patrol? It makes 0 sense. 0 sense.
Yeah, there's less precedent for that than him being on the Justice League.
Now, if it were Cyborg and Beast Boy and the Doom Patrol, I could see that because he's just hanging out with his buddy, Beast Boy.
Right.
But just him and the Doom Patrol, it's like me hanging out with my best friend's parents. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
So you're going over to my dad's next week, right?
Right. Doesn't make any sense.
No, but seriously, you're absolutely right. So what it is like there's actual precedent for Cyborg on the Justice League because of the old Super Friends cartoon that came out in the 80s. Cyborg and Firestorm served as the sort of like Justice League members in training. So they were the younger characters that helped the kids watching feel like they had a part in the show. Because this is after they got rid of Wendy and Marvin and then the Wonder Twins. So that was to help them, feel like, oh, the kids are part of the Justice League. You know what I mean? So with that, I feel less angry comparatively that he was in the Justice League movie than I do that he's on the Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Because Cyborg, while he hates his implants and stuff, he never feels like he's a freak. You know what I mean? Like, he feels like he's sort of like the Thing in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But he would never quit the Fantastic Four to join,
I think
whatever the functional equivalent of the Doom Patrol in the Marvel Universe is.
I think with Cyborg, it's not that he doesn't like his powers; he just wants to be a normal kid.
Right.
And
but I'm just saying, like, the Doom Patrol, like their deal is, they're freaks.
Right.
They're odd. Cyborg, while different, isn't that. Like, I feel like I read an issue where they offered to let him join the Doom Patrol, and he's like, yeah, I appreciate that, but yeah, I don't think I'd fit in there. Thanks. And they're like, well, hey, the offer's on the table. You let us know. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, they're a little too weird for him. Like, he fits perfectly with the Titans. I mean, it's perfect. He's a Titan.
It's almost like he was created to be with them.
I know, right?
Thank you, Mark Wolfman. We appreciate it.
I've never understood him being on the Justice League. I mean, I can understand him like an older Cyborg, but when they recreated it to make him a founding member, I'm like, this is stupid.
Right, I don't like that.
Like, this is a kid. This is a teenager. Like, he would be a teenager when the rest of them found this thing. Like,
so, I mean, if they put him on there just to watch him because he's got this technology in him, but they don't want him to know that, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm okay with the Titan characters moving up to the Justice League eventually.
Yeah, Nightwing is
Um,
the leader of the Justice League.
but yeah, that'd be awesome.
So
Um,
great.
but
Of course, he'd have to marry
yeah.
Starfire before he does that, so she could be there too.
So I just kind of got. I don't know if I'd call it disenfranchised, but I just kind of got over all the CW shows and all the spinoffs that they were doing.
Yeah.
Just, I was excited for a little while, and then they just never knew what to do with them. It's like you've got some of the best characters here. You could easily do really well with them, but instead they just kind of slowly, painstakingly make it boring to watch.
Can I tell you one of my favorite parts, and then one of the things that I think is dumb as all get out?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my favorite parts of the CW shows is the guy who played Superman.
Yeah, he was good.
I go ahead.
He was a better Superman than Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Cavill, however you say it.
Whatever. I think Henry Cavill, whatever. He has the look of Superman. Like he
Well, and
does a good.
I won't blame him. I blame Scott Snyder.
Sure,
It's just
sure.
kind of or not Zack Snyder. Sorry, Scott Snyder's the Zack Snyder.
We'll have another video about you, Scott Snyder. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But no, I mean seriously. Like, if you go online to YouTube and you just type in Superman on Supergirl, like his first appearance, it starts out with him standing out somewhere, talking on the phone to Perry White. And in that moment, they get right in like 3 minutes so much about Clark Kent. And then all of a sudden he's Superman, and they get so much about that right.
Yeah.
And so it's like a 5 minute video or something, right? And I've shown it to my kid because, my kid's all about Superman. I wonder where he gets that from. Oh, you can't see my hat, so never mind. But anyway, and so I'm blown away by how well in such a short amount of space they capture like the essence of Superman. You're like, all right. Now, so that's my yay, this is great. Apparently they've moved him off planet. He and Lois have gone off planet to New Krypton. I don't know what else going on there, but they basically got rid of Superman off the planet. So, like, if I were watching the show and they did that, and like, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm done, because why do you have to move Superman off planet for Supergirl to work? I don't get that.
It's because they don't know how to write.
Well, that's my fear.
It made sense for Superman to just kind of only show up when needed and let her be her own person. It's
right.
Very Superman-like.
Right. So, like, the argument I've heard is, but he would be there for every major crisis, and I'm like, he's not in the comics.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, the Justice League, and let's pick your lower tier Justice League. So you're reading Justice League America number 3940. Martian Manhunter standing there duking out with Despero, and Despero is more powerful than he's ever been. And like he's murking the Justice League. Where's Superman? Oh, he's probably busy with his own villains. He's probably busy fighting Lex Luthor or Metallo or any of the other numerous villains that he has to face. Right? So when Supergirl fights, help me out here. I don't know who her villains are on the show.
I just assume that he says, "Okay, they've got it,"
Right. Or he's busy, right?
Or he's busy. He also gets married and has a family, and so there's that.
Yeah, Jonathan will attest. There's a lot of things that I have to do with my family that I'm not allowed to just hang out with him and watch superhero movies and make these videos.
Yeah. So I think that makes fine sense. There's a lot of good stuff in the
Shows. Yeah.
shows. I like Damien Dark. I think he's a much better villain in the show than he was in the comics.
Yep.
Because I don't think they did anything really with him in the comics.
Nope.
But he was great. Like, he was the first villain that really made you fear something bad was going to happen. Like, there's no way that they can stop him.
Right.
I thought it was pretty cool that they killed Oliver Queen by Ra's al Ghul. That was really cool. Pretty daring move.
Cliffhanger.
And I love Deathstroke. That was an amazing season. Season 2 is probably the
Suicide
best.
Squad, right?
Suicide Squad was better than the movie.
Well, they didn't have to try very hard for that.
Yeah. But the guy who did Deadshot was amazing.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that they didn't cast him for the movie, but I mean, I honestly thought Will Smith did a pretty good job.
Will Smith would have made a better Bronze Tiger. Just saying. Even if he doesn't know martial arts.
I would have liked it better if he had worn the mask more, but oh well.
Right.
But
you sold the movie as a Will Smith movie. We got to see his face, or we won't believe it's him.
I love Cisco. Him and Iris's father, Detective West. I love their characters.
Oh, I love the guy who plays Detective West. He's an amazing actor.
He's great. Every scene that he's in there, especially when he's trying to help Barry, is great. I felt like they lost a lot with Caitlin Snow.
Did she leave?
No, I don't feel like they knew what to do with the character.
Right.
For the last few seasons.
Well, I think part of that comes with the way that the fans were like, "Oh no, she should be with Barry."
I didn't hear that.
No, you didn't hear that? I'm sorry.
No. I never heard people saying that.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I was reading how apparently they call them shippers because they're wanting these various relationships in the comics or the shows or whatever. And so there were like in the early seasons or whatever, people were like all aboard Caitlin and Barry getting together and him not getting together with Iris.
Yeah, no.
And you're like, dude, Barry and Iris are like Lois and Clark. They are meant to be together.
Exactly. Or Wally and Linda.
There you go. That's right, DC. We don't care about your stupid...
Corey and Dick.
Yeah. Sue and Reed. We should do a video on these pairings.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We did that back in Valentine's.
Did we? I forgot about that.
Yeah, yep.
I'll have to go watch that again.
Comic romances or something.
But, yeah, so, I mean, there's some great stuff in there. I felt like they didn't know what to do with Caitlin Snow after the whole finding out that she's Killer Frost, and then Killer Frost takes over, and then she's able to control Killer Frost, and then they kind of merge into one, and all sorts of weird stuff that really nobody cares about.
Right.
I mean, I like the character up until the Killer Frost stuff.
But she was going to be Killer Frost. Her last name is Snow.
Well, I think the problem was they didn't want to make her a villain for the sake of the show because they wanted her to be there. What they should have done, because they opened up the multiverse, is had an evil Caitlin Snow running around.
I think they did at one point.
I think they had that for a very short time.
Yeah.
And they should have just kept her. and that would have been fun. And then we could have your cake and eat it too. But Cisco is my favorite on that show. I love Cisco until Elongated Man showed up.
Yeah.
I love me some Ralph Dabney. He was great. There's one episode where he falls in love with one of the characters that the Thinker's about to kill and ends up killing. Great episode. Great episode.
I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Yeah.
What season was that?
Season 4, I think.
Okay.
4 or 5.
Somebody gave me one of the seasons for a Christmas gift.
It was the first one that didn't have a speedster as the villain.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good because Flash isn't all about speed villains.
I like the. I kind of like the Jay Garrick thing, but I felt like the guy that first was Jay Garrick in season 2 really looked like Jay Garrick, and I was disappointed what they did with him.
Turned it into the original Flash TV show.
Made him Zoom.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And then they made Barry's father from the alternate universe Jay Garrick, which it's kind of cool, but at the same time, the other guy looked much better as Jay Garrick.
The only reason I like his dad being Jay Garrick is because he's the original Flash.
Yeah.
You get that?
I get it. All
right.
It's
a nice little Easter egg, but
it's not necessary. And I like it because I think his dad died, and so he sees his dad in Jay Garrick, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I wish at some point they had made Jay Garrick the mentor of one of the Flashes in that kind of role. That would have been great comics. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. That actually happened, and it was with Wally. So
I was also disappointed that they didn't know what to do with Wally after they brought him on.
Yeah,
like he was great on that season that he was there, and then they just didn't know what to do with him because now you have 2 Flashes and it's too powerful. Why wouldn't 2 Flashes be able to stop him? I don't know, because one of them doesn't know what he's doing.
Right, he's inexperienced.
I'd have just killed off Barry and moved on with Wally. Let him train Bart.
Hey, do you think there's a possibility they'll do that in Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Who knows? I don't know. I haven't kept up with the series, like I said. I've kind of.
I'm just saying, like that storyline's coming up next year.
Yeah.
Later this year. Something. I don't know.
This will be a good chance. But I think the main actor for Flash is set for all of it. I don't know. How many times have they killed Barry off, basically, and brought him back? No.
In the comics?
No, in the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's like every season. He's been trapped in the Speed Force somehow, some way. But he manages to make it back somehow, some way. And him coming back is what causes all the problems.
So wait a second. You're talking about a speedster who runs in the Speed Force, seems to be gone, and comes back?
Oh.
I think we had those stories somewhere, too. But it wasn't Barry, because he wasn't around. He was dead.
But I've seen some people who really hated on the CW shows, and I can kind of see where they're coming from. I liked them. I just felt like they just got old.
Right.
They just they didn't really capture me. They reused a lot of the same character tropes, character arcs, I should say. So Oliver Queen doing the same things that he's been doing every season, being a jerk, not learning anything from the last season. Not very inspiring for a hero. Honestly, I felt when his sidekicks split away from him, I was like, yeah, he deserves that. Exactly. Right. Because you're an idiot. Because you haven't learned a thing, Oliver Queen. and I don't know. So I'm really sad that it's not as fun of a series as it used to be. Like, I got really excited with a lot of it, and now I'm just kind of waiting for the next thing. So, I mean, Swamp Thing looks kind of cool, but who knows what it'll be.
Right, like what kind of stories are they going to tell?
I have
I
no
think that's
idea.
going to be the sort of the interesting thing to watch.
Yeah. So, I really hope that DC gets their act together. Um, it's sad because they do really well with cartoons, and then the live
Yeah,
actions are just
hit or
up and
miss.
down. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the TV shows were great for a long time, I thought.
they were, because that was some of the stuff that got you and I talking.
Yeah.
A lot was like you were telling me what was going on and asking me questions about it,
Yeah.
and sort of led to what we're doing right now.
I mean, I'll probably pick it back up eventually.
Yeah.
But I didn't even mention Black Lightning.
Yeah, but it's its own thing, isn't it?
It's supposedly in the same universe.
But then you
I
also have to consider like the cartoon series they have for like the Ray, who is on Legends now, I guess, and then Vixen, stuff like that.
Yeah, I watched the Vixen. It was good. It was good. I didn't watch the Ray. It looked dumb.
Yeah.
I liked Black Lightning.
Oh, you watched it?
I liked. I watched most of the first season, if not the whole
Wait.
season. I think they got too quickly into the daughters.
Oh yeah.
I think that's one of the problems. That was way too quick. Honestly, I had a hard time figuring out which daughter was which because they look just alike.
Yeah.
To me, at least. Someone might say I'm crazy, but I'm like I don't know who's who in this. But having different powers helps me. Uh, uh,
Well, there you go.
but yeah, I don't know. I felt the daughters getting powers too quickly was a problem. Because you really hadn't shown me anything. It became more about the daughters than it did Black Lightning. And I was like, I don't care about the daughters. I like Black Lightning. I want to see him do stuff. Because I really thought the character was kind of cool, being a principal trying to do good in his community. And it was a really interesting story. And then it became about him teaching his girls how to be heroes. And it's like, you haven't even really become a hero again yet. You're just like a little vigilante right now.
He could have been the character who broke the mold if you wanted a African American Justice League member,
Yeah.
right?
Well, Mr. Terrific, he's been a great leader. Black Lightning, he's always been there, although he's better on the outsiders, which is why I say Mr. Terrific.
Right.
John Stewart.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you're not going to have John Stewart in the movie, give me Black Lightning. He turned down membership in